Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. My name is Mike.
And this is Matthew.
And we are here with another comic review, another one that Matt sent to me and had me check out. Considering what happened with our last comic review, which was about the Arkham Asylum story arc, which I hated, this is another dive back into Arkham Asylum with Batman. But the question remains, did I actually like this one or not? And Matt, why don't you tell the people at home a little bit about what it is we're talking about today?
This is the first story arc from the, at the time, brand new series Shadow of the Bat. It's issues 1, 2, 3, and 4, titled The Last Arkham. And the storyline opens up with you kind of seeing what Arkham Asylum is now, because in real life, this storyline comes out, I think, about 2 years after Arkham Asylum, and they've kind of renovated Arkham, and you find out, they show you who all is there and what's going on, and the last page or so, they reveal that Batman is their biggest insanity case that they have to fix. And it's about Batman. You find out eventually that he has, him and Gordon kind of said, hey, let's do this. So you have to go into Arkham and you can do an investigation because somebody keeps escaping from Arkham and they can't figure it out. So Batman goes undercover and gets, what is it called? Basically brought in as a patient of Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
And the new guy who's running Arkham Asylum completely and totally basically buys into we have to have Arkham Asylum because of all the crap you've done to people. So he is ready to go after Batman. And it's just this storyline of how he tries to, wane in his own insanity, or if he's insane or not, and then just, come out on top because he's Batman, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's and it sounds a little bit familiar to you. This was the inspiration for an episode of Batman the Animated Series, Dreams in Darkness.
Yes,
where Batman's being held in Arkham Asylum. A lot of great Easter eggs in that episode. Definitely go check that one out. So, Matt, do you think I liked this one or hated this one?
I mean, I'm kind of have insider information, but why don't you say whether you liked it or hated it?
I really liked it. No, I really like this one a lot. This was a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable, a lot less pretentious, and this was a more interesting story. This is kind of the kind of thing I kind of was hoping I was going to get with Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
So and I'm actually glad I read Arkham Asylum first, because there are things in the last Arkham that do harken back to Arkham Asylum just enough to keep it interesting, but in a much more interesting way, I think.
Yeah, I think the joke I said on the phone with you was your favorite panel from this comic is when the current Arkham throws Amadeus Arkham's journal into the fire.
Loved it.
Which you would love to do with the Arkham Asylum.
That was like porn for me. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Watching him say no, screw you, and throwing that book in the fire was poetic justice at its finest. Watching Jeremiah Arkham basically say, dude, screw my uncle, I'm gonna do it better, and I was like, well, anything can be better than the last one. But no, it was a great there's a lot of great characters in this one. We have Victor Zsasz in this one. Joker makes an appearance, Mad Hatter makes an appearance, Egghead, Amygdala all make appearances, and we also get the appearance of Nightwing.
Yes,
in this one.
Which I think I told you at the time was not a regular thing.
No, there was some definite significance to this. And you're as kind of the resident Nightwing expert here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about why Nightwing showing up in this was so significant?
See, this is, people don't realize is that nowadays Nightwing is part of the Bat family. There is a Bat family, but back then I want to say this is around the time Tim Drake becomes Robin. So, but Jason Todd is gone. There are no other sidekicks. Batgirl is crippled. So it's Batman and it's Tim Drake Robin, and Nightwing is nowhere to be found. He is not there because Nightwing / Dick Grayson and Batman / Bruce Wayne have a huge falling out. It's kind of been retconned and done away with, But essentially, Batman just tells, Dick Grayson, like, you can't be Robin unless you're in Gotham with me. And Robin says, fine, I'm not going to be Robin anymore. And they don't talk, they don't hang out. They are certainly very, very estranged. So when he does show up in these comics, it's been years since he's been in a comic book. The last time he was in the Batman series was in Batman Year 3, which came out in 88. This is like early 90s. So it was definitely cool to see him there, especially because, he's sporting the mullet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Nightwing's always the best when he's got a mullet.
I mean, something about it just cracks me up. But he also has that weird 90s. He's gotten rid of the 70s collar. He's got the 90s crazy yellow stripe. I kind of still like all of his costumes, even though this is pre his black and blue ninja look. But just having him there and seeing just his detective skills, you get into, he's this great fighter. Yeah, he's this amazing acrobat, but he is Batman's protege. Mm-hmm. He is nearly as smart as Batman. He's not insane with his crazy machinations. Like, you would never get Nightwing doing the Tower of Babel storyline where he's planned how to take out the Justice League, but he can do everything Batman can do. And I really like that they display that here.
Yeah, you see the detective skills that he picked up from training with Batman for all those years, evident as he goes and searches for him and tries to rescue him. There is, surprise when he shows. Everyone's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I heard about what happened. I came to help out. Because Robin takes a back seat in this. Robin's in like 2 panels.
Yeah.
He takes a hard back seat in this story. So it is. And even when he shows up to rescue him, Batman's like, what the hell are you doing here? And I was just like, cool. Yeah. I can tell this was a great idea. I can tell I'm so glad I did this. This is yeah, it's a great story. There's, again, it gets into the psychological stuff like I was hoping Arkham Asylum would do. There's inspiration about things from BF Skinner in this. There's stuff that relates back to like Hannibal Lecter in this. It's a great, this is the kind of stuff that is what makes Batman detective stories so interesting.
Well, and it's also like, this is the introduction of Mr. Zsasz. This is his first appearance, which is cool because he's kind of touch and go in a lot of the stuff. He's just one of these weird, one of the, I don't want to say the only, but one of those weird villains for Batman where he's like, yeah, I'm not really against you. I'm just a serial killer and I just want to kill everybody.
Yeah,
and you keep stopping me.
it's Crumbobulous Michael from Rick and Morty. Like, I like killing men. I like killing women, adults, children. I just love killing again. Oh boy, here I go killing again. Yeah. Like that's who that is.
But I think the one thing for this book that kind of holds, besides the Nightwing stuff, is what I like is this is that time where you see Batman working with the cops, that late 80s, early 90s Batman story where he's walking among the cops. He's there working with them, talking to them. Some of them don't like him. Some of them do. Gordon's there. So when I saw that first trailer for the Batman, this is what I thought of. Mm-hmm. Is that because not since like the mid 90s have you really seen Batman doing that. Batman's always in the cave. He's working with Alfred or one of the Robins. He's not barely ever interacting with the cops in any way, shape, or form. He talks to Gordon every so often, but he's not feet on the ground with those guys. And that's what I liked about the storyline. I like that version of Batman. And so I was very excited to see that in the movie.
Yeah, and I think that's the version of Batman we're building towards with this new Matt Reeves Batman that we're having. I think that Shadow of the Last Arkham is absolutely something within the realm of possibility for a future Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman movie, because it is that relationship with the police that aside from just talking to Commissioner Gordon, we haven't really seen and because you got to do it a certain way for it to make sense. And I think that for the first time, it's a real possibility.
Yeah. And I have to say, Norm Breyfogle's version of Batman, the artist on this book, is probably like my second favorite version of Batman. The lean, muscular, kind of, tall ears, sleek look, the cape just crazy flowing, defying physics. And the way that man does action, like the one that always sticks out in my mind is Batman is chained to the wall and these two orderlies come at him with batons to attack him. And you get this full page widescreen panel, um, beat for beat look as Batman takes these two guys out, even though he's still chained to the wall. And that I just think is amazing. Just the way he's able to do the art, the way he makes him look, the way he moves. I can't say enough about how much I miss this version of Batman.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping, since this is kind of the era of Batman that has inspired a lot of the animated stuff. And while this isn't what we saw pulled from in The Batman, that was Year One and Long Halloween and Batman Ego. There's so many seeds planted with what they've done. And with this story in particular, the relationship with Nightwing, the relationship with the police, the attitude towards the people at Arkham, the introduction to Victor Zsasz, who is he's not been around as long as some of the other villains, but he is one that in the last 10 years has really started to grow in terms of popularity. He's kind of sort of in Batman Begins. He's fairly prominent in the Arkham video games. We see him in Gotham. I really do feel like that Zsasz is a character we might actually see get a full-blown cinematic representation sooner rather than later. And part of what makes Zsasz such an interesting character is represented in this story, in The Last Arkham, because of just how haunting and creepy and maniacal he is.
Yes. Again, that whole Joker has an agenda, and most of the time it's just a mess with Batman. This dude doesn't give a crap about that at all. He's not in this people's for Batman. Lives. Yeah.
He's not in this for Batman. He's in this for his own sick gains, and that's kind of what makes him so terrifying, is because he's not in this to stick it to anybody. He is in this because he's sick, and there is one thing he wants, and that is to cause death.
Yeah. So, and the problem is you can't reason with somebody like that. You can't do anything with somebody like that. There's no I'll talk him out of this, or I'll do this. No, you just have to literally stop that person. And hopefully, stopping them doesn't mean you have to kill him, because Batman won't do that.
This is no Two-Face or Mr. Freeze situation where it's there's good in them, or I need to find a way to reach their human side. No, Victor Zsasz is a monster that needs to be stopped at all costs.
Yeah, exactly.
People will die. That is his only goal in life, is to kill as many people as possible. Which is terrifying, but it makes for compelling reading, just like The Last Arkham. So if you can pick this one up, highly recommend it. It's a fantastic psychological story. It's a great mystery. It's a great detective story. It's an introduction of a really compelling character in Victor Zsasz. So definitely check out Batman: The Last Arkham, which was part of the Batman Shadow of the Bat series. Written by Alan Grant and art by Norm Breyfogle. It's a fantastic story, so please check it out.
Yes, and especially, like we've mentioned, if you like the current Batman movie, this is that movie in comic book form, as far as the feel and the tone and the detective and all that kind of stuff. So definitely check it out. It's why I sent it to Big Mike here. I was like, hey man, check this out, dude. I love this series, and I just don't understand why people don't talk about it.
Well, as with the Long Halloween and Year One and Ego got a big boost in sales, as with any of these comics do, they get a big boost in sales after the fact when a new Batman movie comes out. Maybe they'll find a way to adapt this one and more people will go read it as well. Or maybe they'll listen to our show and go read it as well, which we highly recommend. And if you have read it, we want to hear what you guys think, so you can let us know on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea.
Find me at Mr. J Ninja.
And until next time, we'll catch you guys here with another episode of We Are the Batman. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
Until next time, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.